Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Reserved Investments. And today, we are discussing the incredible sale of the $71,100 Super Mario Brothers game that is complete in box from 1985 that sold on eBay on January 17th. I've been getting a lot of messages about the significance or lack of significance regarding this sale, and there's a lot of people that want me to talk about this in depth. So that's what we're going to be covering in today's video. Now, just in case you're unaware, when Nintendo first released what would become the Nintendo Entertainment System in the United States, they test marketed the product in Los Angeles and New York. The reason why it was test marketed, you have to understand that back when the Nintendo Entertainment System was being created and promoted for the US market, the video game marketplace in general was in the toilet. We already had the great crash of 1983. Atari was pretty much on the balls of their ass. Other companies like Mattel, Coleco were exiting the industry. Really, the only place where video games were actually doing well was on home computers and in the arcade. So Nintendo really had their work cut out for them. So they knew bringing what was known as the Famicom, the family home computer from Japan, into the US as the Nintendo Entertainment System, that was going to be a significant challenge. So they chose to test market the system in New York and Los Angeles simultaneously in 1985. Now, a lot of the systems, a lot of the games that were released into the test market were significantly different from the items that we got later when the system launched and the games launched nationally throughout the US. So you may recall there are different versions of these games that were released into the test markets in 1985. The two known coveted versions that are highly sought after are, of course, the sticker sealed versions of these games. And there were two different types. There was the matte sticker sealed, which is this one here, the earliest version, that just sold for $71,100. And spoiler alert, it's not even truly factory sealed. More on that in a bit. And of course, there was the later glossy sticker sealed version that was graded by Wada Games, the one copy that we know of that became very famous, that pretty much set off the graded video game boom right around 2019, early 2020, when Wada came on the scene, when a lot of this stuff was being pretty much bid up into the stratosphere through, I'm sorry to say, alleged market manipulation. Now, what makes this sale so spectacular is that, again, this item is actually open, but the matte sticker seal is still intact. So if you're wondering how that occurred, the particular individual that listed this item on eBay, he did an excellent job with the pictures, with the description. He states that it was open from the bottom, so the sticker seal was preserved. All the contents were just taken out and put in a storage bin somewhere, and they were preserved perfectly until today. And this item is in immaculate condition. This would easily grade into the near mint range if this was sent in for grading. Now, interestingly enough, because this is a very early production piece, I understand why it sold for so much. And I want to make sure that my opinion is known here. This doesn't mean that we're in a second gold rush when it comes to vintage video games, possibly graded video games, and the like. That market is still, unfortunately, in the doldrums. And the reason being is, guys, anytime you have alleged market manipulation, not just in the antiques and collectibles trade, if market manipulation happens in, let's say, the markets for precious metals or cryptocurrencies, or even meme stocks for that matter, the end result is always a higher level of volatility and, of course, a lack of investor confidence. And that lack of investor confidence is what really causes prices to plummet. And that's why, if you're following any of the recent graded video game auctions that are handled by either Heritage or Golden or any of the other boys out there that are playing in this space, or maybe even you're just following some of these graded factory sealed games that are selling on eBay, for the most part, sales are still down significantly. Now, it doesn't mean there's not opportunity in this market. Just if you are playing in this market, you need to realize that graded factory sealed video games are a very niche market in general. Unlike rare coins, unlike high-end comic books, if you're going to play in that market, you're most likely going to want your items third-party graded. When it comes to video games, if you are collecting or investing in video games, you can literally put together an investment-grade collection without ever getting an item, either in factory sealed condition or even coming across or needing to purchase an item that is third-party graded. So that's what makes the graded video game space, the video game space in general, so unique. It is very niche, and it is very unlike other markets that favor third-party grading. And I think that this is something that is lost on a lot of the graded video game enthusiasts that really bought into the hype in this market. I don't think that they understand that third-party grading really isn't a necessity in this market. There's a lot of people that I know personally that with the hype of WADA, with the hype of graded video games in general, when prices shot up into the stratosphere, they sold whatever they had into the hype and they started to collect either complete in box or non-graded examples, simply because they knew that there was a massive speculative bubble forming in that market. So I just want you all to be aware, this particular piece is historically significant, but it does not mean that we are in the second boom of video games as collectibles. I just want to make you guys all aware of that. It seems to me, I'm seeing a lot of people, for whatever reason, they want to own either an early release of Super Mario Brothers or even a later production copy that is factory sealed and graded because they think it's a good quote unquote investment. I'm here to tell you, when you start getting to where Super Mario Brothers was released in shrink wrap, meaning mid-production or late production copies, those games are out there. They are not really all that rare and scarce as you may think. Even with the run-up in prices of third-party graded copies from like 2020 to 2022 before the bubble burst, I can assure you there are people out there that have a lot of these games still sitting ungraded. Now, obviously, I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass and tell you that, oh, there's a ton of these early release games. No, that's not true. The early release games, like even the gloss sticker sealed games and even the matte sticker sealed games, of course, they're extremely scarce. They can be almost considered rare in this regard at present time. But when you start getting into mid-production releases of Super Mario Brothers and late production releases that are factory sealed, even in near mint, case fresh condition, I can assure you they are out there, guys. So be careful if you're looking at this sale going, well, this means Super Mario Brothers games are rare and in demand. I'm going to attempt to invest in that segment of the market unless you're going after a lot of these early sticker sealed releases in near mint condition or better. You could potentially lose your arse if you buy incorrectly, if you fail to time the market properly. So I would tell you, just use caution in this market and see what develops. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, if you are subscribed to this channel, I just may see you in another upcoming video.